It is the coach's show. There he is. We're live, but not at Sea Smoke Waterfront Grill this week for reasons. We miss those guys. We love those guys. We can't wait to see them again. It is the head coach, Tom Menas. It is the team president, Jeff Levack. It is the Albany Empire's coach's show. And coach, good week for the Empire because that was a heck of a game. And we were able to come out on top. But, kind of walk us through the shootout over the Gunslingers.
Well, it's a good week to be with the Empire. What had happened was we did a Empire-esque type thing and came out the way we normally come out. We had some troubles in the back end of our defense, some adjustments that needed to be made. And again, our adjustments are ridiculously small, but it's like anything. I mean, you could have a Ferrari engine, and if you're missing a screw or it's not tightened enough, it's not going to run. And unfortunately, in our situation, it was just a matter of repositioning our defensive backs, their depth, their contact, things like that, the coverages that we were talking about doing. And getting Coach McKinney in the back end in line with me in the front end and getting those kinds of things worked out. But I was pretty confident that once I saw it was going to be the kind of game it was, I know our offense is strong enough where we're going to score pretty much every time we have a possession. It's a rarity for us not to. I felt good as long as we could stay competitive in the first half, defensively, make the adjustments at halftime. I think I scared hell to death in my halftime coach's locker room. But after that, I think everything worked out great. And I think we only gave up 14 in the second half. So proud of him.
You mentioned Hal Talbot of Fogg's Automotive fame. He helped out with the coaching staff a little bit. So he's a Coach Hal both on a high school level, now a pro level. He's president. He's racking up more titles than you and I, which is saying something.
No, it was great because I had told Hal, when I need you this year, I'm going to call on you. And so one of the things that I did was I wanted to have Coach Richardson down next to me, because I thought it was going to get into more of a substitution thing. If we had the opportunity to play some people, he's kind of our substitution coach, if you will, and handles the substitution charts. And he's usually upstairs, and I had him come down, and I needed someone up there to relay to me down in distance and things like that. And he was great, and he volunteered. And well, he didn't really volunteer. I told him he was doing it. He was gracious enough, and I let him get kind of immersed in the experience, and we're going to have him again helping us this week.
Yeah, my nephew, who's ex-Marine Corps, he likes to say he was voluntold. So it's like I voluntold myself. Okay, cool. Yep. You were mentioning like the minor adjustments, and we've talked about this in the past where one of the criticisms somehow came to you earlier in the year of you have too many good players. Is that something that maybe makes these guys, try to make the bigger play because every other team they've ever been on, they were the best player?
Yes. Well, it's an interesting dynamic because great athletes always want to be the guy with the ball, right? Whether you're offense or defense, you want to create. On defense, you want to be the guy who creates havoc. On the defense, you want to be the guy who creates the turnover. And all those things. And one of the hardest things I've had to do this year, as late as this morning's practice, was coach up guys and letting them know sometimes this just isn't your play. Sometimes your play is boring. Sometimes your play is just watch this guy against the wall, and that's your job. Just do your job. And sometimes, we were talking about some defensive fronts today, and I had made a call and someone said, I think we ought to do it this way. And I said, well, we're not, but thank you for your input. But the reason we're doing it and the reason you want to do it is because you want to be the one that creates the havoc. And I love that. But on this particular play, it's designed so your partner here can make the play. So you're going to create, congestion, confusion, and all that. And he's the guy who gets to make the tackle or the sack. And once they get it like that, they're great because they're very unselfish guys. It's just, when you have a roster like we have, we don't have any betas. They're all alphas, right? So you have 25 alphas, and which is great. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It's just sometimes my whip ain't long enough. You know what I mean? Like the lion tamer, and you have to let guys know, and just remind them that as athletic as you are, as great as you are, as everything as you are. Here's a perfect example: Darius Prince, best player in the league. And Darius will come up, and they'll say something. Coach Ware will say, "I want to run this," and Darius will go, "Well, I'll decoy it, and I'll just run deep and take 2 with me." Now, here's a guy who's going to run 40 yards knowing he's not going to get the ball. So someone can make an 8-yard hitch. Okay. So I don't have to do anything. Go, yeah, just what he said, and it makes it easy when you got guys, and they all get that. It's just, like I said, everyone wants to be a playmaker. So when you have a roster that's filled with so much talent, so many big names, so much experience, there's some synergy to it, and I think we're figuring it out. And, everyone's like, you're figuring it out. It's, like I said, I don't want to be perfect until August 14th.
13th this year. 14th was last year. Yeah.
14th will be when I'll be inebriated.
Yes. 14th will be a perfect hangover is what the 14th will be. It is the Coach's Show. Head coach Tom Menas, team president Jeff Levack, normally live at Sea Smoke, but there's reasons. I'm going to do this because I've seen a couple of these pop up. Tommy Gross, everybody, I'm good. I'm just, I'm grounded. That's all. Just like when you're a kid. I didn't do my homework.
No days off in football.
There's none. No, you don't get to, you just got some sniffles, got a little flu going on. I got, still got to work. Still got to get some things going. Right. No, absolutely. Good to see this name pop up. Phil Barnett was good time back in Albany. He had a hell of a game.
Yeah,
he had a hell of a game.
Screw you, Phil.
I was yelling that at the TV Saturday night for sure. And
Phil had a great game. Phil had a great game. Phil had the kind of game that, if you're going to end your season, that's a hell of a way to end your season.
Right.
Yeah, he had a great game. I mean, I know Kent was throwing the ball away, and he went like 3 rows deep and caught it for a touchdown. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, come on. You didn't do that when you were here, Phil. What's up?
But you know what the thing was, as good as his game was, his nickname, Phil, you got to give him to fix that nickname. Lil Hopper's a bad nickname. You can do better.
That's terrible.
You deserve better. You deserve better, sir.
Like a little bunny.
Yeah. All right. You ready for some armchair quarterbacking? Some Monday morning stuff. G Tice wants to know, Coach, what was your thinking on not taking a timeout at the end of the first half when they had the ball on the 5-yard line?
Didn't need it.
All right. I like that.
Well, I'm not going to get – you just said what was my thinking.
Right.
Was I right? I don't know. But it seemed at the time I didn't feel like we needed to.
Hal said he's in. He said he wasn't scared. He loved the opportunity, loves us, and he said can't wait for this week. He's in.
Good.
You can't scare Hal. Come on now, you know better. The only thing that scares Hal is like raising interest rates on cars, because that Fox, the deals over at Fox, that hurts him after a while. It's the Coach's Show, and Coach, I as I got to sit and watch the game, there were moments early on where I was starting to get a little nervous because San Antonio is clearly ahead of where they should be in their maturation process. But I also kept saying to myself, big time players make big time plays in big time games. And that's what our guys did. Castronova, Prince, Hollis, just to name a few.
Yeah. I mean, we can, look, please don't take anything out of this sideways. San Antonio should be very proud for what they accomplished this year. Okay. The one thing that I would say was the one little missing component in that was maybe not against, somebody else, but with us, is that part of the maturation process is learning how to win, right? Like we really and truly never think we're out of a game. So the score, you remember the first, we actually lost the game in San Antonio by 3 the first time we played, but we were down significantly and brought it all the way back. And, 25 more seconds on the clock, and we probably could have pulled it off. But the point is that and this is nothing against coach or the team as a whole, but they were so new together that they really hadn't had time to create that kind of synergy with understanding wins and losses can be habit forming. Okay. Now, when they started the way they started, they had learned how to lose. Let's be honest. Okay. They learned how to lose. And then the part of getting where they were learning how to win was just getting going good. And I think, if we had probably an 18 or 19 game schedule, I think they'd have probably made the playoffs.
Wow. And like I said, when we see Phil Barnett out there, it's, I'm used to seeing him in the blue and orange, seeing him in the red, white, and blue.
Trader.
Yeah. I did. I yelled, oh my God, the things I yelled about that man who I love very much at the TV on Saturday night, it was not good. All right. I got one.
It was great. I mean, that was, it was nice to see him again. Glad to see him go.
All right. So we gotta do that. We got one more second guess for you.
Sure.
Why do we throw the ball on 2nd and goal inside the 5 with about 13-point lead at the end of the game, resulting in an interception?
I asked Coach Ware that too. Yeah, I was screaming in the headset, run. Hey, you know what? And I'm never going to second guess Coach Ware. I don't. I'll give input. I don't think I've ever really countermanded him in any way. I trust him. He's not only probably the best offense coordinator. Well, he is the best offense coordinator in the NAL. And he saw something based on his film study and his prep work that he thought was going to be there. And, oh, by the way, I have 4 still shots of the interception, the non-interception, showing that Prince had possession of the football through the ground.
Yeah, that was another one that was tough to watch. But
and the kick that went out of bounds on the top of the board, and they called it down there. Oops, that was another one.
There's a comedian. He was canceled. I think he's back now, Chris D'Elia, and that's his thing. When somebody interrupts him, he'll be like, "Oops!" Oh, like he gets really loud with it. So when you said that, that's all I can think of. I think we need oops. Like we have those fake refs who sit just outside the 5. Yeah, just oops. Get that going.
Yeah, but the good thing is, unlike other places where I've coached, Joe Clarkston, Chris Siegfried, our commissioner, Tony Marcelli, our head ref last week, Jeremy, the crew there, they're always trying to get better. And like the kick on the wall, I said, no, it's got to come in contact with the ground, then it's got to go over. And they said, no, that's part of it. And we talked through it. And they said, Jeremy came up to me after they refuted my
interpretation of the rule.
My interpretation of the rule. And he said, no, we're going to go that way. And I said, oh, well, here we go again, or something like that, smug. And he said, Coach, I promise you, I will find out and we'll have it a definitive, and I'll take that even if I don't get the call.
Well, it's easier to take it on this side of the W. Like we ended with the W. So like if we're going to have calls that we don't necessarily agree with, I'd rather be looking at
games of those.
Right. Well, I'm saying, like, I'd rather look back at him from this side of it where, we were able to finish it. Hollis has that amazing game stopper, and that even gets somehow reviewed. And it's just easier to swallow on this side of the W.
Right.
But it is the coach's show. Head coach Tom Menas, team president Jeff Levack. Normally at Sea Smoke. Can't wait to get back over to Sea Smoke Waterfront Grill over there on Starbuck Island. I just, I miss those guys. Have a blast out there. I do.
Going to one of the restaurants tonight, though.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Toro's.
I can't go. That's evil.
That's why we're going tonight.
I ain't mad at you. That's a smart move. Save the wallet.
No, we're gonna go. We're gonna go have. Haven't been over there in a minute, and just gonna go over there and have a good meal, kind of celebratory meal, because really didn't get much of a chance to celebrate. Saturday night, got back, started breaking out film till about 4 a.m. Saturday night after the game. Was in the office and at the hotel doing work all day. Sunday, in here all day Monday. So get a chance to just kind of take a breath.
Yeah, you gotta do that. Yeah. Coach Howell with a comment I really think is important to say. Props to Kent. He's a warrior. Took many hard shots. Kent is a heck of a quarterback. I was impressed by the way he again took the shot, stood in there. Like that's something not everybody does.
42 years old.
Yeah, whippersnapper.
I told him I saw him in the hallway, and I said, "I go, come over here before the game." He's in his street clothes. Big dude too, and comes over, gives me a hug, and I said, "Man, you blew it." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "You could have been here holding the clipboard, getting a check." Call you next year, Coach. He's a great guy. He's given a lot to the indoor football game, and he's a good man. And so, yeah, I'm very pleased. Like I said, rightfully so, with the attention they garnered this year. First of all, to the old ownership group that started it and did as much as they could, and to the new ownership that took over and is taking it on their trajectory that they're going to do, but also to the players, because that was a pretty lonesome place for the first 5 games, right? And for them to do what they did, really, really good guys, and they're all good guys. There's no bad guys on that team. I mean, they're all very kind, and I popped in their locker room probably inappropriately after the game. Got a little scolding, but I popped in. I said, "I just want to say how proud I am of you guys. You guys did great. Safe travels." So I try to do that for any visiting team, and I think the world of them. And I got a place in, like I said, I've got some feelings for San Antonio because I was there for a year and a half playing ball. So
yeah, in the USFL, right?
Yeah.
And that was the Gunslingers back then as well, correct?
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty. That's the small football world.
Surreal. Surreal.
All right, listen. I don't know if I haven't been around to harass you and see if you had time to come up with this today, but it is time to win coaches tickets. Did you come up with?
I got a hard one.
You got a hard question for today. Okay, so if anybody doesn't remember, this is the way it works. Coach has a pair of tickets that we reserve for him. He's obviously a little busy, not going to sit in them. This is your chance to win them. You comment right here, whether it be on the Albany Empire Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Every right answer goes into the drawing. At the end of the show, we pull one of the right answers randomly, and you get the tickets. But you got to know the right answer.
So my son, Phil, works in our player personnel department. And my granddaughter, his child, Liliana, had her birthday on Saturday.
Okay.
How old is she?
Oh, geez. All right. Did you put this out there? Is this?
My son, Phil Menas, his daughter, Liliana, my granddaughter, celebrated her birthday on Saturday.
All right.
How old is she?
All right. I think this is going to be whoever gets this one. It might be one right answer in this one. This is this tough one. All right. So how old is
Liliana?
Liliana, your granddaughter Liliana. How old? All right. Let's see if people can figure that one out. A lot of people still kind of commenting on the guys who in this game, like loving the way that we run the football, especially Sammy Castronova. Stiff arm for a touchdown equals play of the game. Hard to pick a play of the game, but I mean, when your quarterback's out there rumbling like that, that or was it Prince's one-handed catch?
It was definitely Prince's one-handed catch. That may be. I mean, I've got a picture in my office. I don't know. You guys can probably see it a little bit here. Let me see. That picture right there of Prince last year catching.
I tried to steal it from you, and you got it back, but that's
yeah. But that picture, shows total concentration, athleticism, fearless. You're running full speed into the wall. This one, I think, tops that. And I if we were ESPN, that'd be in the top 10 for sure.
It is interesting because there's a lot of times that we will, like, a catch like that will still make it in, at least the digital version of the top 10, and not this time. But that's not to take away from Castranova's, stiff arm touchdown and the way he runs the ball. And I got to watch, and I heard Gaz, who I'll be doing a show with in a little bit, mention that, like, we run that like almost sweep play with Castronova, like maybe once, twice a game. And he's like, originally he's called an option, but I don't see the option. It's just Sammy taking off with the football.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great athlete. He's just a great athlete. He can run, he can jump. You should see him play basketball. I mean, it's crazy. Just watch him slam the ball. Goes
Really?
Oh my God, yeah. I'm like 360 slams. He's a heck of an athlete. I think he's playing, if it were me to guess, and he's never said this, but if it was me to say, I think he's got something to prove based on last year. And if this doesn't shut the critics up, screw you. I mean, what else can he do, right? I mean, I heard on a podcast, I heard someone said that we were the default number one.
Okay.
How?
I did see some arguments about, like, well, you didn't play as many games, so that's not
okay.
fair.
I want to address that real quick. Okay?
Right.
All right. So everybody, once and for all, I'm going to address two topics. I'm going to address the balls, and I'm going to address the balls and the
extra games for two teams.
The extra games for Jacksonville and for Carolina. Okay. We'll start with that one. Okay. Carolina and Jacksonville had responsibilities, we'll call them, okay? And I thought it was okay. They had asked me, and I said, I don't care. And their responsibilities were, we would like to play 14 games this year, where everybody else had agreed on 12 games. And they said, well, we appreciate that, but we have responsibilities to our previous year's season ticket holders coming out of COVID and this and that, and we would like to give them 2 extra games. Great. Now, if you want to do that and have us agree to it, everybody else in the league, then we have to all agree. We have to have a level field of how determining who goes to playoffs, who gets what, and this and that. What's the easiest way? Winning percentage is the number one thing. Then it goes to tiebreakers and this and that, whatever. But winning percentage, it doesn't matter if you play 20 games or you play 3 games. It's right. What was your percentage of winning? We did not choose for Jacksonville or Carolina to have 14 games. Matter of fact, the only reason I felt it might not be a good idea is because you'd have to forfeit your bye weeks to make it fit into our schedule.
And we did invite, and by the way, we did invite the other teams if any of them wanted an extra game, but no one wanted to play us for an extra time for some reason.
So that being said, that's why when you look at it and you see Jacksonville and Carolina playing 14 games and everybody else playing 12, it was at their request. It wasn't anything other than that. But again, you can't have your cake and eat it too, where you say, well, because we're playing more games, we should get in. No, it doesn't work. It goes on winning percentage. Bottom line is we lost 4 games, they lost 5, is how it ended up working out.
Right.
Okay. Right. So hats off to everybody in the playoffs. Looking forward to a really fun playoff race, and that's great. Okay. Now let's talk about balls once and for all. Whoever the knob is who keeps saying that it's because we didn't order enough balls, use your brain.
No,
use your
nobody does
brain.
that. Nobody does that.
Okay? Because whoever that is, I don't know who it is, right. But whoever's doing that, think in terms of this. We have 2 options. We just won't score as much because that's when the balls get in the crowd.
Right.
Or we'll just order more balls. Well, I think we ordered like close to 75 per game.
Originally, yeah, we're over that now.
Yeah,
what we bought. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 100 balls per game. Okay.
And last year we into the stands an average of 40 a game. So
right. We upped it by 60.
And we still didn't have enough.
Right. And we still didn't have enough. And no problem. So what does our owner do? What do you do? What do I do? No problem. Let's call and order some more. Oh, wait a minute. You're going to order them. You'll get them in October.
If you're lucky. Right.
If you're lucky. If
Right.
that boat gets across the ocean in time, you'll get them in October.
And it doesn't get stopped by customs.
And it's, listen, Carolina's been doing it since the first game.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Columbus does it. Jacksonville's done it.
Yep.
San Antonio does it. But for whatever reason, it's because we do it, it becomes an issue. And again, if we'd only scored 30 points a game, it probably could have made it work. But that's one thing. The other thing is, if I had to get us through having Mark gone, and we had a kicker, Levack, who did a great job, but you got to remember, I got offensive linemen running down on kickoff. It's better to give them the ball at the 20. Okay, right. So then we lost a bunch of balls that way. I'm going to do whatever it takes to win a game regarding the balls. But, looking back and being prudent, we could have probably saved 100 balls that way. But it got us through wins also. So my thing is, please understand, it's not about buying balls.
No.
Hey, I would love someone to have the exact ball we have that's doing all the bitching and come to us and say, I got a case of 50 of these things and they're $500. I'll write you a check right now. But you can't do that.
No.
Because they're nowhere to be found. And then when I call the other coaches and I'll say, like San Antonio, I called Fred up and I said, hey, Fred, when you come up, can you bring any extra balls you have with you? And then after the game, you're more than welcome to take them back with you if you want, or I can just buy them from you when you do here. Oh, and this is a little caveat to that. And of course he said, yeah, I would and whatever. But so I'm sitting there and I'm actually reading a post from a guy making fun of the fact we have to get footballs. On my TV in the hotel room, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is on there. And he's on a podcast. And someone posed the question to him. How come in that race you had red wheels on your back inside tire? What do you think Dale Earnhardt said? He said, we only bring 10 sets and we ran out. So my guy had to go down to the next pit crew and buy 2 tires.
Right.
It's not just about a football. It's about supply and demand and having the room or having, whatever. There's always a case. Don't look for the dark side of it. Look for, hey, wow, they're doing whatever it takes to make sure this and that. And what are we giving for the balls?
Oh, this week was playoff tickets.
That's like valued at what?
At least $100. 75 to $100, depending upon where you chose.
Hey, everybody, that ball costs like $15.
Right. Well, 30 when you get the shipping, but
okay, 30. Okay, so it costs $30.
Right.
So that's a good deal. Right.
But yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what we've always tried to do is give something of greater value in return for it. But it is like we're going to get through it. We're going to keep playing. Right. One more game where we have to worry about them. Championship game. Hopefully that's an issue that we have to deal with, but the league brings the balls for that.
Yeah.
Speaking of seeding, one of your contemporaries has backed you up, Coach Rez. Carolina fans don't understand the process. Y'all are the number 1 seed. Congrats. Records don't matter now. The real season starts Saturday. Good luck to y'all.
Yeah, same to you, Rez. Appreciate it.
I love him until we line up against him. That's what.
You know what? And who did I tell this to? I forget. I think it was Fred. I said, you know what? We're a small fraternity, man. There's only 6 of us as head coaches in this league. I mean, you think about it. Out of 330 million people, there's only 6 NAL coaches, right? We should all kind of work together when we can. We're going to be, hey, look, we're going to probably kick each other, cuss at each other, do everything. But after this thing is over with this season, I hope we all just work together and continue to try to make the league better, bring in some good new coaches with new franchises and do some things, because we really are the stewards of this game. We take care of the players. We make sure, as far as the football side of it goes, you guys in the front office, you take care of the really big picture. But I always, you know me, I'm always in your office saying, but the asset is football, and so I hope we all, do that. And Therese, good luck to you this weekend, and we'll
I think that's still
hopefully
my
see you
favorite
here
all
in
time.
Albany.
I think it's still my favorite all time. Coach Menas, Jeff Levack argument. It's got to be about the football, and then me going, "How are you going to play football without effing footballs?" And then it's one of those where we both look at each other and go, "You know what? You're both right."
I hate when you're right.
we said that to each other quite a bit. This is the Coach's Show. Head coach Tom Menas, team president Jeff Levack, live from our your office, my living room. Normally at Sea Smoke, we will be back at Sea Smoke as early as next week. Since Coach Rez did offer his opinion about seeding and that we are where we are and the season starts now, I do want to talk about one more game from last season, or at least two. Lions and Cobras look really good in their season finales. They look really, really good. When you break down film, I know you're breaking down us, and obviously looking at the Sharks, but do you take a look at what the Cobras did in that game? Do you take a look at what the Lions did against the Predators?
Haven't watched it.
You haven't checked out the Cobras Sharks game even?
Oh, Sharks game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I watched. I didn't watch the Cobras. I watched the Sharks. I didn't break down the Cobras in the process. No disrespect to the Cobras, but I've got to get through the Sharks first. And I've watched every game the Sharks have played this year, pre-Nelson, post-Nelson, pre this guy, post this guy. I'm going to just continue to concentrate. My world revolves around right now Jacksonville. And the nice thing is this year, and it would be kind of cool if it was the Cobras and us, a chance for redemption for us on the 3 games. And also it'd be kind of cool to see the Cobras back in it, at the end. And I think that would be a really good football game. Again, no disrespect to Jacksonville or Columbus. It's just, I think it'd be a really cool thing to have happen. The thing about it is we have a bye week after this Saturday. If we win, when we win, we have a bye week. And then during that bye week is when, the coaches especially will have an opportunity to set game plan and start doing all that in that prep week. And then, some practices here and there. And then, but we'll have almost 14. Well, we'll have 14 days to prepare, which is longer than we have had for anybody else.
Coach Rez, hallelujah. We need it.
I agree, buddy. Pal, I'd love to see you there. I think it's makes for the best storyline ever. It ends all the speculation, right? Either you're top dog this year or we're top dog this year. No one can say anything about either of us, our programs. I would love that. So you kick the shit out of Columbus. We'll kick the shit out of Jacksonville, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. I like that.
Oh, I can see Facebook and Twitter freaking out as it is.
What do you want Rez and I to say? We're going to plan on losing this weekend? Come on, give me a break.
I'm just saying. I know what's coming next. That's all. You pulled the pin on the grenade. Now I'm going to watch it blow up. That's all I'm saying.
But see, here's the problem. You're going to watch it blow up. I don't watch any of that crap.
I know. You're busy doing other stuff. You got other things to do.
Hey, if I was sitting on an island and I wasn't doing anything, I still wouldn't read that crap. You know who comes in and tells me this stuff? Coach Ware. Coach Ware will come running up and say, "Did you read this?" I go, "Get away from me." Then I'll show it to me.
I can see it now. Well, Coach,
that's it.
I didn't really like what you had to say about kicking the crap out of Jacksonville.
I said, let's do that. I
didn't say. I know. You're also
my thing
like
is this,
hear the right thing.
I just talked to Channel 13, right? They came in. She's great, and they came in, and I knew Roger was behind all this, right? And so I said, do you guys understand that when I say the things I say, because I piss off my coaching staff, I piss off my players, and when they say, well, why do you give them billboard material? Why do you give them chalkboard material? And I said, am I giving them chalkboard material, or am I just challenging to live up to what our expectations are? Okay. So I'm never going to walk in a room and say, gee whiz, we're playing Saturday. Gosh, I hope we're good enough. They're a really great football team. We'll be all right. Oh, humble, fake shit, blah, 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 blah. And instead just say, I think we're going to win. We're preparing really hard. If I don't think we're going to win, what kind of leader would I be standing in front of a group of alpha males going, hey guys, I just want you to know it's 50-50 this weekend. I promise you, maybe they don't do it publicly because they're more polished than I am. I'm the most unpolished guy in the world. I get that. But maybe Coach Rez, Coach Gibson, Coach Burley, maybe they do it differently and their way is right for them. My way is perfect for me because I go to sleep with no worries that I'd said something that's with malice. Everything I say is just a positive way towards my team and my players.
I don't have a problem with it. I just like to point out that it's about to get interesting on the message boards. That's all I do. I actually appreciate it because I know what they're going to bitch about. That's
so tell me what they're going to bitch about.
Oh, it's going to be same old Albany running their mouth. That's and it's fine.
Hey, you don't like it? Beat us.
100%. Let me ask you a football question.
And I'm okay with that. Hey, right. I never get in a fight I think I'm going to win. I get in a fight that's going to be a fight. Okay? Right. So what I'm saying is if you walk away from fights just because you might get tagged, then don't open your mouth. If you're not worried about getting tagged, swing away, brother.
Here we go. Mary Jo likes it. I respect the raw Coach Menas. We appreciate you, Coach. I mean, that is the one thing I do hear about this coach's
Mary Jo, you and my wife. Thank you.
that is the one thing I hear about this coach's show. People do enjoy that you just speak freely. You say what you want to say. You don't hold back.
Listen, and I wouldn't coach a young coach to be me. When you're a young coach, when I started out, it was, gee whiz, thank you. I hope we're going to be okay. Blah, blah, blah. Then you get a little older, you get fired once or twice. Then you come in, you win, you get a championship, win a national championship, win a Grey Cup, start doing this shit. And you start just saying what you want because it doesn't matter what you say. It's how your team plays on Saturday. As long as you're not evil or malice or braggadocious, and I don't think we're any of those things. I think what we are is we're confident, cocky. Okay? That's what we are. We're confident, cocky. And yeah, do we have swagger? We got a hell of a lot of swagger. But that's okay. And I tell these guys that you've earned that. You've earned that. What are we, 17-5 in our existence as new ownership? Like I said, if you don't like us, when have I ever gotten beaten in those 5 games where I didn't congratulate the other team for whooping on us?
Oh, every time. I will. It is interesting though because you're like the reverse of the bulls, like the father bull and the son bull walk up and there's a bunch of cows and the son says let's run down and have at one of them and the dad says let's walk down and get them all.
Yeah,
your dad's like let's get that one.
Yeah, I'm running down with my son.
All right, you go left, I'll go right.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's just maybe it's the culmination. And I had a conversation with Coach Richardson his first year coaching, right? And I said, there's nothing original about you this year. And he said, well, what do you mean? I wasn't being insulting. I was trying to make a point is that in your first couple of years, you're a culmination of everyone who ever coached you. And you take the little bits and pieces you remember from meetings and huddles and getting an ass chewing or getting a compliment, and you make that your own, and you think, okay, now I have a style. Well, you haven't got your style yet. What it takes is when you realize that you've got to create your own style and what you're going to do. Like I respect Coach Gibson, everything he's accomplished. 1 is longevity at the position. 2 is his leadership. 3 is what he can do with the roster. 4 is he's a very gregarious, magnanimous kind of guy. He's very polished. He's good in his interviews, everything else. Rez, love the things he says. He's cocky, confident. I like that. He's got that Marine kind of swagger to him. Great. Okay. Coach Burley, football guy, smart football guy, everything else. You know, everything that he does, like when I talk to Coach Burley, I talk to him maybe, several times over the course of a month, and we always have a great conversation. Coach Shaw, he's another one. Coach Shaw, his passion, his level of enthusiasm, and the things that he does, great. Coach Higgins, I mean, Coach Higgins is a tough spot, but always with his head up, always a positive word about the franchise, about his players, about things like that. So we all have a different style, right? But at the end of the day, I'm an old lineman, right? And I'd rather be the hammer than the nail.
Right.
I would rather, just be me, because I'm not smart enough to remember a style I should be acting. So I think all of our coaches around the league, what you genuinely get in interviews is who they are. And I like all of them. And I apologize if I rub anybody the wrong way. I ain't changing. Get used to it.
Somebody we like, Hector Garcia, he just said, best of luck, guys. So
thank you, Hector. That's the guy I was saying for San Antonio, for everybody to know. He's taken a lot of flack. Oh, now the new ownership's, this and that. Let me tell you what that poor guy did. That guy did nothing but start a franchise from dirt. Okay. Right. And put his life savings into it and did everything that he could do with passion, him and his family. And they're the sweetest, kindest people you'll ever want to meet. And Hector, you're going to be a friend of mine for life. So as long as you'll have me.
How about this one from Ryan Williams? When is Richardson suiting up? Remember, we teased everybody. We thought it was going to happen.
The honest answer is he's a break glass guy for me right now. Shorts is playing so good. Pudge is playing good. Kelvin Fance. They're playing so well that to bring Jay Rich and his expertise in on the field would diminish, I think, to a certain extent, their playing time and their rotation. And it almost would create more of a problem right now than it would be a help. Now, the good thing about Jay Rich is if tomorrow, God forbid, a lineman, a defensive end went down, or a linebacker went down, or a fullback went down, he's my guy. And we wanted him eligible, and that's why we did what we did.
I had a great back and forth with Jay Rich last week. We were sitting down talking, and I told him I was talking to Shorts, and I told Shorts, I was like, if you are able to win as primarily the fullback now, you join one other guy in Empire history to have won one as the linebacker and one as the fullback, and it's Coach Jay Rich. And then, Shorts like, oh, I got to do it now. And so I guess Shorts ran to Jay Rich and said, this, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get your record and be part of it. And Jay Rich said, go for it, because that just means I'm the first guy to do it as a linebacker, fullback, and a coach. And you got a long time before he gets me on that one.
Yeah. And I told him, I said, I asked him the other day, I said, I talked to him and Coach McKinney. And one of the things I said to him was, Jay Rich was, what's harder, playing or coaching? And he goes, oh my God, coaching, way harder. And I said, it's not as hard at other places coaching as it is here. And he goes, no, I got that because I talked to other coaches, other friends of mine and whatever. And, we work long hours. I'm typically, this, my alarm goes off at 4 a.m. I'm here by 5:30 every single day, and work until, whether it's in the office or in the home office or whatever, work until well into the late night. And that's an adjustment from being a player, because a player, you're typically 2 hours on the field, an hour and a half of meetings, and then you go home, right?
Right.
So these guys got to come in for morning meetings. We have our coaches meeting at 7 a.m. and they'll come in, and then we're on the field, and then we have our post-practice meetings, films. Then we have coaches meetings after that. And they're doing really good. I'm really proud of Jeremy and Chris. They've been a big part of why we're where we're at.
Love it. A couple more comments as we're rolling through. I see Coach Rez coming back and never change, Coach. Always do you.
Thank you, Rez. Likewise, Barler.
And then I like this one from Hal because I didn't get to see it as much, and it freaked me out when I saw the number 2 on him. Metz had a great game getting off the edge around the big boys. So Jake Metz' first game active with us was last week, and I mean, he'd been on the roster, but that was the first time I got to see him on the field. So tell me about him because that's the first time I'd seen him. And when I saw the 2, I go, "Who the hell is that? And why is he so?"
I met him a week ago. I don't know him. No, he's his resume is significant. He used to be a lot heavier. He used to be about 265, 270. He been out of ball for a minute, lost a lot of weight. He's a gym guy, playing basketball every day, athlete, super fast off the edge. I just hate him because he's so damn good looking. He's just one of those guys, I never stand next to him when there's a camera around. I'm like on the other side of the arena. No, he's a great guy. He's got a great personality. He's a yes sir, no sir guy. Great teammate. We got to continue to find ways to keep this great talent on the field longer than one series. And hence the Ironman, makes it tough. I'll tell you what, if you guys want, coaches, if any of y'all listen, how about we pull Ironman for the playoffs and the championship, just play straight up.
I wouldn't mind that,
fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, and I get it, but it's guys like Metz that, you really wish he could play one side of the ball and that's it, and not have to be burned, after that. So.
Our guy Casey finally again. Gym guy, good looking. I can relate. Oh man,
good for you. And they say I talk shit.
Oh no, he definitely. See, like where you talk shit like verbally. I think Casey Smith might be one of the best internet shit talkers ever.
Yeah,
like he's a He's a Twitter terrorist. He can get after
and hate the haters.
Yep. Keyboard warrior, some people would call him. But I've never seen him in person, so I don't want to say this.
Has anyone gotten Liliana's birth date right?
Yeah, we've got 13 correct answers.
Woo!
Oh, okay, I love this now. Even Sam, our QB. Yeah, not quite, Casey. It's now it's on. Sam. Now it's on. All right. So all right, let's do this. You pick a number between 1 and 13. What I've done is I've written them down in a very random order now. So your number corresponds to somebody, and then when you call that number out, they win the tickets.
11.
As I look, that is Ryan Williams.
There you go, Ryan.
Ryan Williams, congratulations! Woo-hoo! You won Coach's tickets. We'll hit you up in Messenger and get your info and get you set up. You got a pair of tickets to this week's playoff game when we host the Jacksonville Sharks at the MVP Arena. So Ryan Williams, congrats!
And by the way, Liliana turned 2 on Saturday.
Yep, 2. We had a lot of people get 2, and then I saw a couple people start throwing 3s in there just to be different. I think it was what it was. So, so Ryan is the winner of that. It is a 7:00 kick, 5:00 block party. We're gonna do it inside because it looks like it's gonna be another scorcher out there. We've got the DJ D Scott, and I'm not supposed to say that he's of local radio fame. He's gonna be spinning the 1s and 2s at the block party this week. He's another one of those guys. Class of '94, South Colony. We stick together.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 2 of us radio guys did locally. So
does Mike know him too?
Yep. Yeah. He works with another buddy of ours, Matty Hollick, over at the batting cage. So we got the 94 guys. Like I was talking to some of our reps in radio, and they were like, "You guys stick together." Like the ones who like each other. The rest of them we leave out in the cold. They're gone. Never to be heard from again.
I totally get that. It's I get that.
Dave Williams. You mean Dave Williams, don't you? No, sorry, it was Ryan this time, buddy. Maybe next week. So all right.
I'm running out of grandkids, so we're good.
Right. And we will run out of games too. So we gotta figure one or 2 more out.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is, if we were to just go back to talking some Jacksonville football, right?
Yeah.
Is that really good football team, one that we have to give 100% of our attention on. And again, like I said, not looking past Jacksonville at all in relationship to who our opponent may or may not be. Even when we break down film, I at least try not to even pay much attention to what the other people are doing, more of what Jacksonville's doing. Okay. Now, if it causes a reaction by Jacksonville, of course, we look at it. But, I think it's a big deal. I think it's this game, because this will be the third time we played each other. We were fortunate enough to get out the first time by one, I think, and then we did a pretty good job the second time we played them. I know they're going to bring everything they got in relationship to that. Oh, the other thing, Jeff, is we didn't talk about the National Arena League awards are coming out.
Yes, I lost my vote. Did Mike take my vote this year? Is that what happened?
Well,
because last year I had a vote. This year I didn't. So
they went with head coaches, GMs, which I'm both.
Right.
And then they went with owners.
Oh, all right. Last year it was, presidents were in. This year we're out, I guess.
So I'm making a very hard push for a couple guys. Obviously, it's time we make a non-quarterback the MVP of the league in Darius Prince. Don't take for granted the league, what you have there. He is a very special football player, and he deserves to be recognized. And that, again, it's not taking anything away from the Baines, the Kents, the Cashnovas, and all that. I think Offensive Player of the Year, my choice there is Sam. And Sam's probably considered he's also up for MVP, probably. The other thing is my Iron Man. I want to get this out there. Okay. Our center should be the Iron Man of the year. And if you're an avid fan and watch all the games and go to that, Hollins has probably not played less than 6 plays the entire year.
Right.
I mean, this guy is the epitome of, and to play it at center and nose guard or defensive end is ridiculous at 300 some odd pounds, is absolutely crazy to me.
Think about the stat he leads the league in. Pissing off the other team so bad they rip your helmet off.
He leads the league in helmet pull-offs.
He is so frustrating as a blocker and as a guy who just kind of messes up your offensive line on the defensive side, that at least once a game somebody grabs a hold of his helmet, rips it right off his head. And I was talking to him about it. He's chin strapped in. He's like, "Look, Levack, try to get it," and I couldn't get it off the damn head. So
I can pull it off his head easy.
Well,
you can pull off the helmet. You just come up underneath, but that's the problem.
It's like a bottle opener. It's like a bottle opener. Yeah.
You just pop the cap. So it's the thing about it is, though, not to make light of it, for a guy who's played a total of 12 professional football games to come in and do what he's done, I sure hope the powers that be recognize what it takes to be that guy. And during that time, he's sprained ankles, he's had bummed up knees, he's had elbows. The first time he went down, I ran out into the field, right? And I said to him, I grabbed him and I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "What?" And I said, "What are you doing? Get up." And he looked at me like, I go, "Is your back okay?" He goes, "Yeah." I goes, "Your arm's okay?" "Yeah." He goes, "I think I tweaked my ankle." I go, "Get up. You're an offensive lineman. You don't go down for ankles. Get up." I think he went out one play, and then came back in. And it's hard playing for me like that, especially if you're a lineman, because I relate everything to my injuries, and I always say, if I could do it, you could do it. Get up, So, and these are some of the toughest guys that you could ever want. I mean, Silu, Cornelius Lewis.
Oh my God.
I mean, you talk about first team NAL lineman candidate. Harvey, the rookie, playing at the level he's playing at. I hope Harvey stays here his whole career. He's another one. Harold Love, talk about reborn hard in this group.
Big Lavish.
Hey, all kidding aside, is it just me or does he look like Cedric the Entertainer?
He's got some of that to him for sure. Oh yeah. Well, it's Big Lavish. That's when he turns into Big Lavish.
I love him. I call him Big Juicy. He's always sweating.
I said I got to shoot. I don't know when it's going to be out, but it's for Discover Albany. I got to hang out with him. He said, I thanked him because he's the one person in the building. No matter how pissed off I am, he gets a smile out of me. Because you're walking down the hall. Hey, love, how you doing? I'm chubby. And like, I just, every time I friggin' start dying.
He says that to waitresses. They go, hi,
Yeah,
how are you? He goes, I'm chubby.
Yeah, right.
He's just great.
I'm
what,
chubby.
though? He is the guy with the persona, that he would be a little unapproachable, and then he opens his mouth and you really want to engage with him and have a conversation, and he makes you laugh. He always makes you feel good. Oh, one other thing. Cornelius Lewis's birthday's this weekend.
Oh, is it? Oh, very nice.
Yeah. 36.
36. Good for him, man. He's I gotta tell you, like, I remember the very first practice when you made them run up and down every line of the field. And he ran by me.
They did 4 of those today, by the way.
Oh my God. He ran by me and he went, help me. Like it was hysterical.
But have you seen how he slimmed down?
Yeah, yes.
I was going to say. He slimmed down, and
he bought in 100%.
I went up to him, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, and he had run like 5 series in a row. And I try to work the series around the clock.
Right.
So if I have my starting unit in there and they're really humming, I'll say, can you go to 7 minutes? Can you go to 8 minutes? Whatever the time is. And they'll tell you straight up, like somebody will say, no, I need a blow. Okay, so we'll give them a blow. But if you can keep the unit going at a high level, because they're in such good shape, this team is incredible shape because we condition every day. And I think that's a key to our health and our success, is that we're in really, really good shape. But so I said to him, I go, do you need a break? And he goes, Coach, you built me. And I went, that's awesome. That's what I wanted to hear, man.
Right. That's awesome.
That's you're building warriors. And this guy, he is, perfect, right? So you got those kind of Brandon Cisse, obviously, the King Scum, he is the guy. So there's a very unique group. I can go on and on and on of the team leaders, the Hags and the Hollises and all those guys, and the Rosses and Gormans and Wades and just Kenny Veal and Hobbs. And it's just I've gone years and not know my players' names. I'm being totally serious.
I saw it last year.
55, get your ass over here. I have no idea what his name is, right? I think I know every single guy on this team. And like I said, the one thing I pray for, I never pray to win a football game. I pray for the health and safety of both teams. That's the only thing I pray for. I figure God's too busy to worry about who wins a football game. But the one thing I do pray for is that these kids get an opportunity to win a championship together, because I think it will bond them forever.
That's awesome.
That's what I want, because I want Nick's Hague's kids to know Silu's kids, and I want, families to know each other, and I want all that for them because they're that special. They really are. I'll tell you, I mean this from the bottom of my heart. I love every single one of those young men.
That's awesome. Well, I got to show you the picture. We were doing the press after like 2 games ago. And Hague and Castronova were sitting up there, and then Hague and Castronova's dads were in the hall. I was like, come on in, guys. So they came in, and then it was kind of a joke that Hague's father and I had set up, where I was going, all right, do you want to talk to the real Hague now? So I go, you want to talk to the real Hague and Castronova? And don't you know, those two get up there, sit down. Abby from the TU's like, give me an embarrassing story. Castronova's dad's right in with an embarrassing story about when Sammy was a kid and everything. And then we got a picture of all 4 of them sitting up there, like the generations of those guys. And
that's very cool.
I could see that.
Hey, Castanova's dad looks like he could play.
Yeah. When he said he was his dad, I started laughing. 25. I was like, you're full of crap.
I know. Here's So Sunday morning, I have a ritual. Come down the elevator. I walk across the street, go to Dunkin' Donuts. I get a bagel and a cup of coffee and go back to my room and watch more football. So I'm coming down the elevator door opens, and this woman goes, Coach. I turn around, attractive woman. She goes, hi, I'm Nick Hague's mom. Figures now, I've seen his dad.
Right.
And I've seen his mom. He gets his looks from his mom. No, they're sweet people. I love his dad. I always talk to him before the games, but his mom, what a sweetheart. It was really nice getting an opportunity to meet her. And I love that they come up and they're able to watch their son. And, his fiance and all that good stuff. So it's good.
It's very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, with any
here?
luck, yeah, I think, unless you want to keep going, I'll keep going.
Do we have any?
Nice to have somebody to talk to
questions
for
or
a change.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, poor guy. I called you yesterday. You want a pizza or something? I'll drop it off. Yeah.
No, I've learned the value of Instacart, and my kid has been doing like drive-bys for me.
Yeah, I hear your daughter's really done a great job taking care of you.
Yeah, it's like having a reverse drive-through window. She pulls up, throws stuff in, and runs away.
Hey, do we have any more questions, or are we good?
I think we're pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of.
I got dinner at Toro's going, so.
Oh well, then we're definitely good. We're definitely good. So a lot of support on the big guys getting more credit. That's for sure. So and to your MVP comment, I do want to say, oh wait, we got one from Casey here. All right, here we go. What QB do you think Jacksonville starts? I know you'll be prepared for both.
Easy.
It's gonna be Nelson. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Nelson. I do. And Nelson, there's a history. Nelson is the one who bumped the Empire back in 2018.
You say that because I said the last time he was in this arena, he did something pretty special.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not this time, buddy. Sorry.
There we go. All right. No. So just to your MVP comment, there was a question on one of the message boards. If the NAL had a video game, who would be on the cover? And I think anybody who didn't say Darius Prince is an idiot. So that's your MVP right there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, look at the entire body of work. Okay, look at the entire body of work. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep.
If anyone saw that catch, and if anyone sees, I mean, the number of touchdowns, the number of yards, the number, and the fearless attitude that he takes at football. We talk about the wall.
Yeah.
That guy will run full tilt into the wall, knowing what's coming, but to catch the ball, he'll take the hit. And I'll tell you what, and it's not just because he plays for me. I think every other coach in this league would love to have him on their team. For that matter, any other coach in indoor football would love to have him on his team, or outdoor football too, probably. But the thing about it is he is just he's on a different level, man.
What was a year and a week ago was the Scorpion catch, the one where you said the wall's undefeated, but the wall hadn't met Darius Prince yet, where he catches the ball and then goes over and gets in that where your feet go over your head and you look like a scorpion. Like that's It was like a year and a week ago he had that catch, and then he has the one-handed catch this week.
Will, and the biggest thing, if you want to always have great players in this league, like the special ones, like Darius, acknowledge them.
Yeah. I like that.
Give them some love. Yeah. And the way the owners and the other coaches can do that. And I get it. You're going to always vote for your guys and, and that kind of thing. I understand. But, hey, people, when you come to the game Saturday, let them know, regardless of how the outcome of this is, let them know that you think he is the MVP.
Love it. All right. And we'll let Hal take us out. See you all soon. Get better. We need the Levackness.
No.
Yes. I need it. I would have passed out. I think I could have done it. I would have passed out last week. It would have been bad. I had trouble carrying my laundry up the stairs.
Dude, I almost passed out with 12 seconds left to go in that game.
I did actually. So there's nothing I can do. I was sitting over here. All right. Well, Coach, appreciate you as always. Coach's show. Head coach Tom Menas, team president Jeff Levack. Next week back at Sea Smoke Waterfront Grill. Coach, go enjoy dinner, man. And if you do want to drop off a doggy bag, I won't stop you. No,
there ain't going to be one. But yeah, okay.
Have a great day, Coach.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.